Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Abby, and today I wanted to share a quick tutorial on this cute little bow that I used for one of my lives for the gumball machine. I had several requests on how to make this bow, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that today. I have a few different materials here. I'm only going to be using the gold one that was gifted to me. It's very thin, and then I also have these like faux leather pieces. These are from Hobby Lobby, and this one is from Ali with the flamingos. I won't use those today, but I wanted to show you guys the gold one since that was the one that was highly requested. We're going to start off by trimming down our material. We want it to be 4 by 2 pieces, and this is what's going to be the body of our bow. Again, that's 4 inches by 2 inches. And you can definitely make this larger if you wanted to, but this is more for the mini bows. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that down. Next, you want to have your centerpiece, and I initially started with 1/2 inch because I measured the one that I have here, and I cut them down to 1/2 inch. That works, but if you want it to be a little bit thinner, you can do a little over 1/4 inch because I believe 1/4 inch is too small, so that's up to you. Now that we have all our pieces cut down, we're going to start assembling our bow. Initially, you're going to want to make this hot dog style. So go back to grade school, you're going to put this folded in half, and you want one side overlapping just a little bit. This initial bow is going to be a no-sew bow. So we're just going to be using hot glue here. I'm folding down those edges, pressing down so it helps and stays in place, whatever works best for you. Again, you want it to be overlapped just a bit, and that's just going to allow you to add the glue around the edge. I have a fine tip glue gun. I'll have the link below for my Amazon Marketplace that has this glue gun. I love it. It's really good for when you're doing projects with small little pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and press that down here, and I don't want it to glue the two pieces together. You know, I want it to be kind of like a tube. So if it happens that it gets a little bit stuck for you, just go ahead and use a pen. That's what I use to open this up and make sure that my pieces are not stuck together. It's at this point that I realized that the pointed part wasn't going to work. You want to use the butt end of the pen, and that helps you open that up, and you have this little tube that kind of looks like a little cigarette. So now you're just going to go ahead and now fold it hamburger style. So you're going to again fold it in half, and you want to meet those two ends overlapping just a little bit like you did when you did hot dog style, and you're going to glue those together. And now it looks like you have a little chocolate here. Now that you have this ready to go, this is the body of the bow. You're going to start pinching this together in the center. So basically use both of your thumbs to pinch it and kind of create like a little mound in the center. It's kind of difficult with such a smaller bow. If it was larger, it's easier to do. But you're basically pinching it at the center, and you're going to wrap the piece that you have for the centerpiece around the bow. You're going to start by gluing it at the back. I decided that I'm going to trim this in half. You can definitely just use the longer piece to start with, and then trim it once you're gluing it to make sure you have the right amount, because I had a little bit of a problem with that. So it's up to you. You can trim it down to 2 inches, or 2.5 is better in my opinion. So you're going to put a little bit of glue on the back of the bow where you met the two halves together, and that's where you're going to adhere the strip of the material. You want to make sure that that is nice and dry before you start wrapping, because it can come apart. That happens to me twice in this video. So make sure that it's nice and dry and cool down before you start wrapping it around, because you want to make sure that when you're wrapping it around, it wants to be nice and tight around the bow. You're going to finish off by adding another little dollop of glue on the back, and that secures the little strip of material around the bow body. And then that's it. That is your bow, your first bow. So again, a no-sew bow, just using hot glue. Again, your mileage will vary, so depending on the material, sometimes hot glue doesn't work best for this, which is why I'm going to do one more with the hot glue method, and then that way you can see the steps all over again. I won't go over each little step like I did at the beginning, but I will show you guys another method, and that is using your sewing machine, and this will secure the bow a lot better for basically a long time to come. Cutting the strip smaller prevented my pieces to adhere properly, so you can definitely troubleshoot this by adding just a little bit more glue and pinching that together, and that'll fix that, you know, that little imperfection. And it's not going to matter because this is at the back of the bow. When you put it on a project, you won't even be able to tell. Resist the urge to cut. I almost wanted to cut it off, but I was like, no, it's going to show ugly because it's not gold all the way, you know, inside and outside. So just use a little bit of glue, patience, and pinch it in the center, and that fixes that issue. And ta-da! You have two cute little bows, no sew, just using glue. Okay, now we're going to do the sewing one. Here is the same thing, hot dog style, but this time I did a stitching right down the end of it. Then I'm going to fold that in half so the stitching is in the center. You're going to do your hamburger style, and you're going to stitch the end of that as well, just like that. Then again, fold that out so the stitching is in the center and the back, and you're going to do the exact same step with the gluing method. You're just going to pinch it and glue that strip of paper. Here, the strip of paper, I didn't cut it down or anything. I kept it long, so it allows me to have just the right amount. I overlapped it twice, and this just makes it really secure, nice and taut, and makes a really cute bow. So by sewing, you're making sure your bow lasts longer and you don't have any risk of it falling apart. So that's another idea for you guys in case you find that hot glue is just not cutting it for you. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this process video. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and make sure you read the description down below. Hit that bell so you can be notified about future videos. And I hope to catch you in the next one. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye.